Hello, Steeler Nation. I'm your host, G.Stryker, and welcome to your SteelerNation.com podcast, sponsored by Total Sports Enterprises. Today, we are happy to have our minicamp quarterback and Slippery Rock legend, Roland Rivers III. Roland, how are you doing, my friend?
What's going on? Doing well. All is well. Glad to be on. What's up, Steeler Nation?
Hey, well, Steeler Nation is happy to have their Superman right here. Loving the shirt. Love it, man. Now, where are you currently living in Steeler Nation?
So I'm down in Miami, Florida currently. I've been here training with Pete Bomarito Performance.
Nice.
And been down here the last few weeks. And this is where I was leading up to Pro Day with Penn State. I trained here. And so I've been back down here, getting ready for the season.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And a well-known organization too. So you're in good hands down there in that area. You went to MLK High School in Ellenwood, Georgia. I know you played quarterback. What other positions did you play when you were playing football down there?
At MLK, I was just quarterback. I went to Tri-Cities High School as well.
Oh, okay.
In Southwest Atlanta. And I played there for 2 years. I started off as a tight end in high school. And I started off as
No worries.
I started off as a tight end in high school as a freshman, and was the starting tight end as a freshman and sophomore, and was the backup quarterback. And I transferred high schools for an opportunity to focus strictly on quarterback, and I was able to do that.
That's great. Did you also, I saw you competed in track and swimming in high school. What were your favorite events?
In track, I ran the mile, so I feel like I got pretty good endurance. And ran the mile my senior year of high school. And in track, and on the swim team, I wouldn't say I competed. I really practiced. They were a lot better swimmers than me at the time.
Yeah.
And so I was just part of the team. It was awesome being out there and getting in shape leading into my freshman year of college.
Cool. So I know you grew up in the Georgia area. I know the Atlanta Falcons are close. Tell Steeler Nation who your favorite football team was growing up.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I learned a lot. Watching NFL Network. I've been an NFL Network fan since about 10 years old, 9, 10 years old. Just eyes glued to NFL Network and learning as much about the game as I could. And, seeing so many stories about great Steeler legends and kind of learn how to play the game of football through, watching and listening to those stories. And a lot of respect for the Pittsburgh Steelers organization for sure.
That's great. Who were your favorite players then when you were first watching them?
My favorite player definitely Ben Roethlisberger growing up was definitely. I'm sorry, getting an important call from my agent, but
no worries.
from my family. But my favorite player was Ben Roethlisberger growing up, of course, and from the Pittsburgh Steelers. But back in those legendary teams, me and Joe Green, I started off on the defensive line. Yeah. As a 10-year-old, I stared off on the D line. So me and Joe Green was a favorite as well. Yeah.
Nice. Well, are your parents, your dad, a Steeler fan as well? Or is that
Dad was more into basketball, but the Falcons were a team of his that he, liked as well. So actually being from Atlanta, but he's a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers too, for sure.
Nice. So you stay locally for college and you go to Valdosta State. Tell us about the Blazers football program and your time there.
Yeah, so I committed to Valdosta State coming out of high school in 2014. And at the time, they were coming off of a national championship, so one year removed from a national championship. Yeah. And that's something I wanted to experience. I wanted to be a champion, play the game of football and do anything competitive to be, a champion. And so I was offered a full ride scholarship to go down there and play. Felt very honored to do that. It was in-state, wasn't far from home. Yeah. And I went down there and I redshirted as a redshirt freshman. Mm-hmm. Came back the next year as a redshirt freshman and split time with the senior quarterback, E.J. Hilliard. And as a redshirt sophomore, I took over as the starter and was the starter for that team. Was undefeated as a starter before I injured my shoulder, my throwing shoulder, my labrum, and caused me to miss the rest of that season in 2016 as well as 2017. Yeah. And so transferred up to Slippery Rock in 2018. But my time at Valdosta was a great one. I learned a lot down there. Great teammates, great coaches, great university. a standard, a powerhouse in Division II football.
And usually, like a labrum injury like that serious of an injury, taking a year and a half off to get back, a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of players never recover from that. What was your focus, and what helped you to keep your mindset and keep working hard to come back to be the quarterback that you wanted to be again?
Well, just having the faith that God will heal me. And when I got my surgery, the doctor told me that if I do my rehab right and I do the right things and want to get back on the field, that my shoulder would heal up and be better than it was before. And so,
awesome.
Hearing those words fresh out of the surgery table, it was gave me the motivation. I had my family right there.
Yeah.
So I knew right then that I had to do what I had to do to get back. And so, just late nights, early mornings, doing what I can to just care for it and get as much work on it as I could to get back right.
So were you doing anything else during that time, since you obviously couldn't play football? Were there any other programs or services that you were working toward that helped you as well?
Could you say that one more time?
Oh, when you had your time off from football, were there any specific activities that you concentrated on then that may have contributed to helping out your program and your training as well?
Yeah, I did some physical therapy with the Valdosta State program, and I did some outside of it as well. Saw a shoulder specialist, and I just did the rehab that the doctor had set up for me. I wanted to take it day by day, and some days were better than others. Overall, just took it day by day.
Cool.
To heal up. Yep.
And so the interesting thing was you rehabbed from that injury at Valdosta, but you chose to transfer to Slippery Rock. Can you tell Steeler Nation what led to your decision to transfer?
Going into 2018, once I fully recovered from my shoulder injury, I felt like a change of scenery. Going and playing with my former quarterback coach at Valdosta State, who was the Slippery Rock offensive coordinator at the time, Justin Roper, who's now with Holy Cross University. And I felt like going up there, and they had a senior quarterback who just finished up, and felt like it was an opportunity for me to go up there and help that program out and compete. And like I said, I knew that the Pittsburgh Steelers were nearby as well.
Yeah.
And that was definitely on my mind. And just wanted to go up and play football in Western PA and get a good feel for it.
Nice. And you became the starting quarterback after about 3 games. So tell us about that transition in Slippery Rock and how quickly you transitioned into becoming the starting quarterback.
Okay, yeah. So I got to Slippery Rock maybe 2.5 weeks prior to the season. So I had a small window to try to learn all the information and get chemistry with my teammates and coaches and all. And I felt like I was doing a good job. I was hitting new strides every day, but maybe not enough time to fully get that quarterback position at the time. 2 quarterbacks who had been there before in the offense and, had the respect of the teammates as well. Great players, great guys. And so coach made the decision to, get those guys the first opportunities for sure to go out and lead the football team. And, second game of the season, both the guys in front of me ended up getting injured. One out the rest of the season, another was out, a considerable amount of time. And so as a time, I just had to step up and be ready to play ball. And so I felt like I did a great job staying ready throughout that time. It was a tough time not being on the field. Just so eager after all of the hard work of getting back out there, kind of being ready to play that season and having to sit down for a little bit of time. But taught me a lot about patience and being ready when your number is called. And so was able to step in and help the team out and end up having a great season that year. And conference champs and stuff is great.
Yeah, especially taking your team to the playoffs and everything as well. In your first year, I mean, you grabbed hold of that position. You did an excellent job, and you never relinquished it, leading to your senior year, which is honestly one of the best statistical years of any quarterback in any division in all of football. So you had like 5,000 total yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, 52 passing touchdowns with only 7 interceptions. What was it about the system in Slippery Rock that made you so successful?
I had great teammates, great coaches around, great support staff. Yeah. It was awesome. We were definitely a family. We played for each other. And week in, week out, we knew we were capable of going out and putting up those type of numbers and winning football games. And so I trained really hard that off season, just getting better, knowing it's my last guaranteed football season in my life. Guaranteed is this one right here. So I just wanted to go out there and leave no doubt, get my all for my teammates and my coaches, and just be the best Roland I could be. And I was able to do that and had a great year.
The best quarterback ever. It was an amazing year to watch, especially like all of your highlight reels are insane. Your 8 touchdown game against the Notre Dame, Ohio. I think you had 6 throwing and 2 rushing. Does that game stick out in your mind as being a big game, or is there any specific game or play that really you felt kind of encapsulated who you were as a quarterback back then at Slippery Rock?
Yeah, it definitely was an amazing game.
Yeah.
Being able to come out with that victory.
And you came back from behind too. You're down 14-0 early in that game, right?
Yeah, we lost to them the year before in 2018. They sent us home in the playoffs too. So, that game was one that we felt like we would get early on that season, that we would have to see Notre Dame again. And it was a great team effort coming out with that win. But as you mentioned, the 8 touchdowns, that's the most I've ever scored been involved in the game.
Yeah.
And so that's when I knew that, okay, Roland, man, you playing some good ball right now. Keep doing your thing,
Yeah, that was pretty early in the season too. So you got to build on that and had just a fantastic year. And that, of course, your great statistics led to all of these accolades. You set season and career records for touchdowns, passing yardage, efficiency, completion percentage. And then the awards started coming, the D2 All-American, National Offensive Player of the Year, Super Region 1 Offensive Player of the Year, and the Harlan Hill Award for the top player in all of D2 football. So how did you react to each of those accolades as they were coming in?
A lot of them were coming in, as we were still focusing on winning football games. So,
yeah,
that's where my focus was day in, day out. I knew all of that stuff was a product of the hard work I put in the off season and, during the week and stuff. So, I knew what it came from. And so I wanted to continue putting in that work to continue helping the team win. So, great achievement at the time and very inspirational and motivational for myself and for others. The people that's close around me, they know how much I work and how much I love what I do. Yeah. And so it's just great overall to be honored like that.
Oh, that's great. And then 2020 hits, and as you're preparing for the draft, we all get hit with coronavirus pandemic. So what was your year like in 2020 while you were trying to focus and were you working on your skills? What was going on? What was 2020 for you, Roland?
Yeah, for me, dealing with the pandemic, just wanting to stay safe.
Yeah.
That fine line in between, wanting to train and be out and, play the game of football and, wanting to do the right safety precautions and all. But aside from that, just training, staying ready, doing what I could to get better. I went out to California and trained at Exos and got some work in with Mike Shepard, former quarterback coach, coached a long time in the league, and went out there and just was doing as much as I could to network and get better. I was able to work with Mickey Bruckner, QB country up in New Jersey, Chattanooga, New Jersey, and test football. Tony Raciopi, quarterback trainer, just doing what I could to improve in my game, get more explosive and just work on areas of improvement that I knew I could get some attention to at that time. And I stayed ready week to week, just thinking maybe the call will come in this week. Today could be the day I get the call. So every day I'm working like it could come, and didn't get that opportunity last year, but I felt confident that, going into 2021, if I could get an opportunity to get into a pro day and get in front of scouts, that they'd be impressed with the hard work that I put in and my ability, and led the Penn State pro day and throwing with Pat Fairmouth. Went really rough for me.
That was great. And how did you get the invite then to the Penn State pro day?
So the athletic director from Penn State reached out to me and said he got my name and number from scouts. And so they asked me would I like to participate, and I told them absolutely. And that's kind of how we got there.
That's great. That's great. I'm sorry. My daughter just walked in here as well, so I had to see
No, that's all good. Yeah, I was
take care of
dealing
the
with some
fam.
stuff. Yeah, I had some calls coming in earlier. I understand.
Oh, I feel you. I feel you, man. So the Steelers were there, obviously, end up drafting Pat Fryermuth, but must
Right.
have noticed you as well. So did they talk to you at all during the pro day, or did they
Yeah,
reach?
we spoke a little bit afterwards,
Mhm.
and talked, and just Mike Tomlin and Kevin Colbert. We had a conversation and just letting them know kind of what I've been up to as far as training, and
Yeah,
I'm hungry for an opportunity. And so uh, the pro day with Pat went really well.
good.
I guess they liked what they saw and drafted him in the second round. Was very happy for him.
Yeah.
Definitely a hardworking guy, a
Mhm.
very talented individual. And so it was just awesome, getting that call that they invited me to come. I felt very happy and excited for that.
And that's great. So how did you first learn the news then that you were going to be coming to the Steelers rookie minicamp?
I received a call from someone within the Steelers organization, just
Mhm.
extending the invitation to come to minicamp, and I accepted. And so we got things set up probably a couple of days later as far as travel and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I just got to Pittsburgh, and it was time to work.
Nice. And I'm going to show some pictures here from your Instagram of you
Okay.
sporting the black and gold very well. And I just want you to talk to Steeler Nation a little bit about your experience there at training camp. What was it like for you personally? What are the types of things that you did? And how was it for you? How did you feel you did?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was an amazing opportunity, a dream come true being, uh, within that locker room and in that organization, and just wearing those colors and being in meetings with the guys. It was a lot of fun. It was great. Uh, Coach, I was the only quarterback, so as far as practice goes, I was able to get a lot of reps. Was able to, learn the players. I felt like I did a really great job. Didn't have any interceptions. Took care of the football. And
Nice.
yeah, I
Nice.
was, I was really happy about that. All the one-on-ones and team reps, and
Mhm.
not coming out of those 3 days with a talented defense. Guys that can fly around and make plays, and
Yeah.
coming out of there with no interceptions. It was great. Taking care of the football is very important, especially at the next level. So gave me a lot of confidence knowing I can go in and go through my reads and be coachable and get the ball where it needs to go based on the flow of the defense, where the defense tells me to go with the football. And just as great being in the NFL setting and doing that. Coaching wise, it's a great staff, hard work. Everybody around me, I felt like everybody was hard working, hard nosed individuals, and the coaching staff to the players. I mean, it seemed like exactly what Steelers is like. Being a Pittsburgh Steelers, just loving the game. Najee was great, a fantastic athlete and running back, and a great person as well. And so it was a lot of fun being out there in
Yeah.
between the lines playing ball again after all this time. Yeah.
And you look good. You sport that black and gold real well, man. I love seeing you in it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it felt great. It felt great. I felt like Superman.
Yeah, and you should. So
Yeah.
have you spoken with the Steelers since minicamp?
My agent is, does the communication with the teams and all, and he feels good about my chances of, just continuing to work and getting an NFL opportunity soon. So I'm just gonna keep doing my thing and
Yeah.
keep staying ready.
Now, has your agent been speaking with other teams? Are you able to say what teams have been approaching or speaking with you yet? Or are you just getting ready at this point and waiting for training camps to start so you can fit a role?
Yeah, I go anywhere and play ball. I mean, more than
Yeah.
anything, right now I want to get back into playing football. And competing at the highest level, and just being surrounded by the game of football. But
Hmm.
I'm just right now. You never know what can happen. And,
That is true.
that's part of the game. I was blessed, at Penn State Pro Day to be able to work with Pat. Pat get drafted by the Steelers, and had that connection right there. It was great, So
Yeah.
Steelers gave me my first NFL opportunity. I'm very thankful for them seeing enough in me to bring me in.
Yeah.
And, I'm very appreciative of that organization, longtime fan, and always rooting for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And you seem like a great personality as well. You seem like you'd be a good fit for the Steelers. They love, down to earth, intelligent quarterbacks that can keep a hold of that football and not turn it over. That's the biggest part, which is crazy.
Can't give it to the other guys. Can't do that.
No, you can't. And you are definitely amazing at that. So I'm looking forward to hopefully you seeing you come back to the Steelers in some way, shape, or form. I'll be holding out some hope for that, because I know you can play just by seeing what you've done at Slippery Rock and being a local boy myself. So now it's the point of the show where we actually take questions from Steeler Nation, and we have our members in the forum over at SteelerNation.com. They get to ask the first questions, and they have some good ones for you here today.
Okay.
Slash Steel states that Devlin Hodges came around and as a tryout and made the team. I think it was 2 years ago, even gained significant regular season playing time. Does that give you some confidence that you can achieve a roster spot moving forward?
Absolutely. I followed Duck coming out of college a little bit. He played at Sanford, and I know it's right over in Alabama, and we put up some really good numbers. And coming out of college, and seeing him get that opportunity with Steelers and going out there and making the most out of it was definitely inspiring to see back in college. Just seeing someone persevere and make the most out of an opportunity. So glad he was able to be a pioneer in that realm of football and stuff. It's a lot of success stories like that with guys, just getting the opportunity and their number getting called and them being ready for it. I've experienced that in college, like I say. So I kind of know how the game of football works. You just got to continue working, love the game and love the grind. And so definitely very inspiring to see Duck do that. And, wish him all the best.
Awesome. And Slash Steel also wants to know, what skill set do you possess that you feel helps your cause to obtain your goal of becoming an NFL quarterback?
Just as a passer, anticipation and accuracy, as well as the arm strength. And those are things that I think really sets me apart. And I've worked and gotten even better at those. As a leader, I think I'm able to get the guys around me to bring out the best in them. As a leader, as a quarterback, able to make the guys around me better and elevate the game of my teammates and stuff through my, as the quarterback, through the energy, the way I approach the game and stuff like that. I know that translates to my teammates, and I feel like I do a great job of, working on those relationships and just loving the game, loving the grind, watching a lot of film, and loving the process of going out and putting on a show and winning football games.
And Cooley Man asks, does Kurt Warner's path to success give you inspiration that you can do something similar?
Surely. I wanted to find a way to get some work in with Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
But knowing his story, it definitely is one that I get reminded, about Kurt Warner. Absolutely. He's a guy, a gunslinger, can get the ball out there. You can tell he had a lot of fun playing football. And so look up to guys like that.
That's great. That's great. And then we have one last question. It looks like over on YouTube coming in for a chat. Squishy Waffles asks if you meant to post your film on YouTube.
If I meant to post some film on YouTube, I guess they're speaking on the rookie minicamp footage. Well, I wanted to. I'm really fighting for my NFL opportunity. It's how I feel, and I've improved so much since my collegiate days as an athlete and as a player. And I just want the world to know what I'm capable of. I think that I've got a lot of tremendous ability that can be used at the next level, at the NFL level. And I just want to show that I can compete with those guys, with elite, talented guys. So that was kind of the reason for that. Yeah.
Well, I think you can compete too, for what it's worth, and I can't wait to see you get your opportunity, because I will be one rooting hard for you. Steeler Nation, no matter where you are playing, is going to be rooting hard for you. Obviously, we'd love to see you here in the black and gold, but if you go elsewhere, we will be rooting hard for you. So in Steeler Nation, you have to follow Roland Rivers III on social media, Instagram and Twitter, at ROQB14. That's ROQB14. Super easy to remember, super easy to follow. Great guy, Roland. I really appreciate you and your time. Thank you for being on the SteelerNation.com podcast with us.
Awesome, man. It was fantastic. It was good speaking with you. Look forward to speaking with you again.
Nice.
Shout out to Steeler Nation, man. Appreciate you guys, all the support that you've shown. And we're going to keep working. We're going to stay ready for sure.
Perfect. Much love to you and yours, man. And I'm looking forward to talking to you here soon, Roland.
Awesome.
All right, man. Take care.
Yes, sir.
All right, Steeler Nation, be sure to go over to SteelerNation.com for all of your football needs, articles, podcasts, the Yinzers podcast, great gear to buy to be the best looking people at your tailgate. Come on over to SteelerNation.com. We'll fit all of your needs, and also the great football forum as well. Be sure to follow us on YouTube so you can get in on these great interviews live as they happen on our YouTube channel. Subscribe there at www.youtube.com/SteelerNation. Tweet us at Steeler Nation, Instagram us at SteelerNation.com, Facebook us at Facebook/SteelerNation.com. Follow the Steeler Nation podcast on Twitter at _SN podcast, and follow your host, G.Stryker, on Twitter and Instagram at SN Stryker, Stryker spelled with a Y. Thanks for joining us for the SteelerNation.com podcast, sponsored by Total Sports Enterprises. I'm your host, G.Stryker, with Roland Rivers III, rooting along with you as always. Go